Hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. My name's Carrie and this is episode 137 of my little corner of the YouTube universe where I get on here and I talk about all the things that I craft and create. It's generally quilting and knitting. There is no quilting right now because I have been recovering from hip replacement surgery. I'm 3 weeks post-op, so it's not quite sewing yet. Sitting like this in a chair for very long is a little uncomfortable, so we're just gonna do this for as long as it feels okay. So I'm doing fine. Everything went well, and so I don't have to have any other hip replacements because they've both been replaced. So everything's good. It has given me some time to create as far as knitting goes and some little bit of crochet. So I'm going to talk about some of those things. I know it's been a while. I knew it would be going into it just because of surgery and recuperating and stuff like that. I knew from last year when I had my other hip replaced that I was best that I didn't try and knit or anything while I was taking the pain medication because even though I felt like I was okay, I couldn't concentrate enough. So I just gave myself a pass. Like, don't even try. Just lay there, put your feet up, put some ice on it, and that's all you have to do right now. But I'm back to moving around some more and doing all those things and clear-headed and all that kind of stuff. So I have got some finished objects and some new starts and a couple of new purchases. So hopefully you will enjoy and stick around and, you know, do all the things. It feels weird coming back after taking a couple months really away from it. Just you get out of practice, it just feels kind of weird. It is July 31st, 2025, and we're in the middle of summer. And today got cloudy, so it feels really humid. I do have a fan blowing. It's just outside the door, so you may have a little bit of white noise in the background, but honestly, if I don't, then it's just too stuffy in here. We have had a really nice summer so far. We've had a few days that have been like hot, hundreds-ish, but we haven't had like long stretches of it. So that's been way better. I haven't been spending a ton of time outside because my walks are short and I tend to do them in the morning. Not quite at the point of taking the dogs for a walk yet. That's a little too much to juggle. I'm still using a cane for support, like when I'm outside and stuff like that, trying to use it less and less in the house. I just can't take the risk of getting tangled up in their leashes and juggling. It's hard enough with the two of them when I'm walking normal. So anyway, my world has gotten pretty small recently just because I haven't been able to get out, but I'm making stuff and that's what's important. As you know, I like to dabble in all kinds of things. Maybe you don't know if you're new here. Hey, hi, welcome. So let me just get started with what I'm working on. I have seen, and I'm sure you've seen, the crochet hexagon cardigan style sweater that always looks really great on other people. And I'm like, I'm going to make one of those. And so I had the idea of trying to use the palette or the color scheme, if you will, of like a denim jacket, denim, jeans, whatever. Let me see if I can turn this. So I ordered, and I didn't get enough yarn because I wanted to try it first. I figure I can always buy more yarn, but I'm using Lion Brand yarn, and I got every color in their jeans collection. I love this Lion Brand yarn. It's very soft, and I think it's pretty cool. So I've got every color of the jeans. So you have the gold that's for like the stitching, and you've got like faded jeans and 80s acid wash and whatever the different things are. The two darker colors are very similar, but I'm okay with that. So I got this far and then I was like, do I like it? Is this something I'm going to wear? I don't know. I start second guessing everything. I don't know. I was just going to continue in this order, using different balls of yarn as opposed to a yarn that gradiates or stripes or something. You have a lot of ends to weave in, and that's not fun. I realize though, as it gets bigger, it's going to be fewer and farther between. You know, I did like this little center, and then I had to change. I am following Tony Lipsy's. Let's see, how do you do this? There we go. Tony Lipsy's, what does she call it? Oh, it doesn't have the name. Oh, it's her pattern. Oh, goodness. Anyway, go to TL Yarn Crafts, and she's got a whole, you can pay for it or free on her blog or something like that. I can't remember now. So I'm following hers, which basically you make the hexagon to however big you want it, and then you add more to the bottom if you want it longer, because this tends to make more of a square shape size. You know, like your arm length is the size of your body length. So I'm on the fence. When I look at it like this, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of cute. And then I think, would I wear it? I don't know. So that's as far as I got with that. This is a pattern that I can crochet pretty well. I struggle with crochet. For some reason, it just doesn't like to click in my brain real great. But this I can do because it's just the granny clusters into the holes once I got it set up and going. So what do you think? Do I keep going? I keep making like my jeans jacket. I have to buy more yarn. And I got this. I should have just, no, it's okay. I got it when it was on sale. And I thought, well, let me not just jump in and buy, 20 balls of yarn or whatever it was that I was going to need. Let me just get one of every color, see if I like the look of it. So I don't have a ton invested in it right now, and I can always make hats out of this. I can always use this yarn. So yeah, my jean jacket, my crocheted jean jacket. That might happen or it might not. I'm not really sure. So that got put on hold. While I am sitting and I'm watching a lot more TV than I've ever watched, I think, in my entire life, because I'm not doing a whole lot right now. Just scrolling. Oh, YouTube Premium, totally worth the cost. I subscribed to it or signed up for it or whatever, knowing I was going to just be sitting and watching, and I cannot stand having to sit through all the ads. And I'll just maybe click on a video like, what's this about? Well, I got to sit through 3 minutes of ads before I can even see if I like the video. And then you're like, oh, this is dumb. I don't want to watch it. Well, now all I'm doing is watching ads as I bump around to all the different videos. And so I subscribed to the premium. Totally worth it. It's so nice to be able to just go, oh, what's this about? Click on it, watch it for a little bit, or watch it the whole way through if that's, if it's interesting enough. So anyway, I stumbled across, and now I can't remember who I watched, and I could try and look and see maybe in my history who it was. This lady did a whole thing on the Ranunculus sweater. Now that Ranunculus by Midori Hiroshi, super popular pattern, and I've seen it. I'm totally aware of it. Didn't really get it. I'm like, it's just this big flowy sweater. It's got lace at the collar, like a round yoke. And I'm like, I don't get it. Well, I sat and watched her video because what else have I got to do? And this lady had made like 10 of them or something, and explained more about what the draw of it was. And I was like, well, now I'm intrigued, and now I feel like I need to make one. So I cast one on. Now the yarn I'm using is yarn that I had made a vest out of, and all I needed to do on the vest was pick up and do the collar, but I didn't like the way it fit. I didn't like the way I did the sleeve bind off and stuff. It was like, I just didn't like it. I kept thinking, oh, I should just finish it, but then it was like, I just don't like it. So I took it out. So I sat there, which is another good thing when you're just sitting and doing nothing, is you can sit there and like pick things out. So of course I had done an Italian sewn bind off on the bottom edge. No. Yes, I did, on the bottom edge and the armhole edges. So I had to pick a sewn bind off out. and unraveled it, rolled it into balls. As I was unraveling, of course, I did helical knitting, so I had 2 balls going. I mean, like, it was a project to undo this yarn, but I love the yarn, and I thought, I've got enough to do this Ranunculus out of fingering weight yarn. I'm pretty sure. It's so bizarre, and I think it's going to work. The pattern suggests you cast on with a size 10 regardless of the yarn you're using. I don't have a 10 in my Chow Goose. My Chow Goose only go up to an 8, and it's not in my budget to buy another set of needles, so I thought, well, I'm just going to use an 8. An 8's pretty big for fingering weight yarn. I'll just make a bigger size, and we'll go with that. So the idea is you cast on with a size 10, same amount of cast on for every size. You get through the whole lace section of the yarn, of the sweater, before you decide what size you want to make. Then you kind of measure in an area that's got some stockinette, figure out your stitches, and then go from there on what size you want to make. So I got through all the lace. This yarn is Fiber Hustle yarn. This was one of Aaron's really early yarn colorways that he did. This is called Larkspur. He doesn't dye this color anymore, but he does have a similar color called It's So Gorge. And so I have 3 skeins of this, and like I said, I unraveled the vest that I had, rehanked it, soaked it so that it relaxed because it had been sitting as a vest for a couple of years. And then I'm knitting with it. So I got through the chart, whatever, and I'm doing the raglan. So you do a circular yoke, get through with that, and then you do raglan shaping. I need to go a little bit further because it's about here, and I need it to go just a little bit further. So it's pretty easy at this point because it's stockinette, and you do a little increases when you get to your markers. But I think when this blocks out, it's going to be really hard to see the lace, which I'm okay with. Like, I don't really care about that. I just thought, well, it'll be a really lightweight sweater because it's very loose gauge. And we'll see how it goes. It may be a disaster that I'll rip out again. That is the beauty of knitting. Crochet as well, I guess, is that if it doesn't work, you rip it out. With my quilting, and I talked about this when I started my podcast. I think it's been 9 years since I started my podcast. Anyway, like with quilting, you cut the fabric, then you're kind of stuck. You can't put it back together. I mean, you can sew it with other fabric, but I have taken out recently so many projects that I'm reusing the yarn for, and you'll see one of my finished objects is using yarn exactly from that situation. And I thought, is it because I'm making the wrong things? And part of it is like, yeah, I'm not sure until I make it whether I like the fit or the style, and a lot of times I do, and a lot of times like it's great, but I never wear it, so it's silly for the yarn to just be sitting there. So I'm also learning more about like what styles to look for in patterns to make sure I'm picking the right one. Now this could be a total mess, because big oversized stuff doesn't always look good on people that are oversized and stuff. So we'll see what happens. But that is something that I'm currently working on. Like I said, I just have to keep going around. I am putting it on like my little barber cord, which I don't have any. I got the spool of it on Amazon to just try it because it's on, it's on the needles, to just see how far down so that I can get the arm separation. And then it's just stockinette till I run out of yarn pretty much. So that's been fun. I love working with this colorway. I love working with Aaron's yarn as always. And we'll see what happens. I think when I last looked, it had like 100,000 purchases or something. I mean, this pattern is very, very popular, and a lot of people that have made them have made more than one. So even though the sales may show, so many sales, there's a lot more projects than are listed on Ravelry. So I'm going down that rabbit hole with everybody else, I suppose. I'm late to the party because, that's how I roll. I don't like to do things when everybody else is doing them. I like to wait till everyone has done them and then go, okay, yeah, I think it's okay. I think I'll do it. Just like, let everybody else work out all the issues. Another thing I'm working on. Okay, so this is going to go into the journey of the green yarn. I am going to Rhinebeck. I've mentioned that before, and I am going to be going with friends and people that are going to be my friends. And the group kind of decided, hey, let's all make a vest with green yarn. And I'm like, okay, fine, I can get into this. I don't have anything green. I don't generally knit anything with green. It's not that I have an aversion to green, but then I'm learning that maybe I kind of do through this process. So I ordered some green Cascade 220, and the girls are going to make a pattern by Thea Coleman called Grapefruit Pink Lady or something like that. It's a vest, it's lace work. And I was like, I don't know that I love it, but okay, let me look around and see what other, and I had picked a different Thea Coleman pattern that I thought I would like better, that was more of a V-neck instead of a crew neck. It's worsted weight, so I'm concerned about being really warm. And I just kind of hemmed and hawed, and I was just like, I just want something simple. So then I thought, you know what? I'll make something with green. I'm not going to make the vest. So I'm going to jump back and forth between my whips and my finished objects because it kind of goes into this whole green thing. So I ordered, where's the green yarn? Oops, shit. Oops, sorry. I swore. Oh, dang it. I just snagged it. Okay. I ordered this Cascade 220 and it's a color number 1036. I don't remember, it was like chive or something like that on the website. Got it from Webs, I think. And it was on sale. It was like $7 a skein. I'm like, okay, great. I'm not investing a ton in it. Whatever, I'm going to get it. So I decided, nope, I'm not going to make the vest because I just won't wear it. And so I thought, you know what? Let me look and see what else. I think I'd wear like a poncho or some sort of a wrap or something. A little bit holier, looser knit, Let me try that. So I found the Easy Eyelet Poncho by Church Mouse Designs, Church Mouse Yarns. And it is a paid for pattern. I don't really feel like it needs to be a paid for pattern. It kind of pissed me off when I bought it. I have bought lots of patterns that I don't make, so it's not like I'm opposed to paying for a pattern, but this was really like, does it really need to have a pattern? So I bought it, and basically you knit a rectangle, and so like not super hard, right? It's got this meshy stitch count or stitch pattern, and you knit to a certain length. Get your certain width, you sew it up across, you fold it in half. So this was a long rectangle. Good girl. It was a long rectangle. Folded it in half. So here's my fold, and then you leave a neck opening. So that's what I made with my green. I'm like, well, this will be good. I can't put it on right. It's all bunched up in the back. Okay, there we go. So this will be good. It'll be just something I could just kind of throw over, and it'll keep me warm enough without being like too hot. I'll still be green. I'll still be like what everybody's doing. And then Kate of the Knitting Posse, who's one of the ladies I'll be going with, finished her grapefruit vest, and I'm like, well, that turned out really pretty. I think I need to make the vest. Well, I've already had this like pretty much almost done. So I thought, you know what? I can dye green yarn. I'm going to take that off. It's too warm. So, anyway, we'll go back to that. So I thought I've got some undyed worsted back from when I used to dye yarn. I don't make things with worsted, so I still had some undyed. I'm like, I don't have to pay for more yarn. Let's just see what we can come up with. No formula, just throw stuff together. And I came up with this green. And I'm like, okay, it's like a sagey green. It's okay. It's just way too, it's not saturated enough. I can wear pastels, like pink lights and I can wear really saturated. I don't do in between real great. I just feel like this just fell flat for some reason. I just wasn't loving the color. And so then I was just like, oh, forget it. Not going to make it. Like, nope, I need to make it. So then I thought, okay, let me take that yarn that I dyed and I'll just add more blue to it and see if I can like brighten it up or do something with it. So I re-dyed this, and this was all happening prior to surgery. I thought if I can get the yarn dyed prior to surgery, then I've got it, right? Then I can sit and knit. So I did this. Now you can tell that it's a little bluer. I did some turquoise on it and I'm like, okay, that's okay. And then once it dried, it was like, is it okay enough? Like, I don't know that I love the color. I bought the pink grapefruit, whatever the pattern is, and I did a swatch. And so the pattern to do gauge says the pattern repeat is a certain size. Because it's hard to count your stitches in lace. So I put this like lifeline sort of thing so I could measure this is the repeat, right? Let me get that yellow. And so I got that far, blocked it, and I'm like, I just don't love it. I really don't love it. I didn't enjoy knitting. It's not a hard lace pattern. I'm not a big fan of knitting lace. So I was really trying to like, suck it up and do it. But I just don't love it. So it sat for a while. Like, I don't know. That's just not my jam. I do feel like it's better than this because this is a little too grayed out. Better than this. And I was like, well, I have like these skeins of this green that I'm not going to use. Might as well try and re-dye it again. So for the third time, I thought, okay, let's just put it back in the pot. And we're going to add navy to it. So I got this color. So started off with this, added some turquoise, got this, wasn't happy, added navy and got this, and I'm much happier with it. I still am not like, oh my God, this is the best yarn ever, but I definitely feel like I could wear this. And so it's giving me more of like a spruce green, which is kind of a gray or blue green. So I'm like, okay, I'm going with it. My dye exhausted. So evidently it's good. Everything's going to be good. So I thought, do I do that grapefruit pink lady everybody else is doing? Don't want to be like I don't fit in. I already have a hard time feeling like I fit in anyway. And I was like, I just really don't care for that style. I don't think I'll ever wear it. And I'm struggling enough with the stuff that I like to make, thinking that I'll ever wear it. And I'm like, no, I'm going simple. I will make a vest. I'm going to be on my own, doing my own thing. So I decided to cast on the Avenue vest by Tori Yu. It's a simple stockinette vest, but it's V-neck, which I think is a better style for myself. So I started that a couple days ago and it's going well. So this is the back. Actually, it goes like this. Okay. I'm still connected to balls of yarn. All right. Sorry for the noise. So I got the back. You pick up at the shoulders to do the front part, the front of the tank, or no, what am I making? I'm making a vest. I'll put a picture of the pattern. And now I've picked up the other side and I'm doing the same thing, and then it'll join in the round. I'll end up doing ribbing around the neck and ribbing around the holes. I'm gonna attempt, I think, with this one to do some bust shaping, add some bust darts, because one of my finished objects I did bust shaping, and I think that could be the solution of why I don't feel like things fit me properly. So I am much happier with this now, but it has been a journey with this green yarn for somebody who doesn't have any green in her wardrobe. I now have a poncho, which I do think I'll wear, especially with it being so holy. I think especially like I've only been to Rhinebeck once, but I have friends that have gone many times since then. And it tends to be pretty warm still. I remember when I went 3 years ago, I think it's been 3 years, I was cooking and I had a pretty lightweight wool sweater on and I was just roasting. But I wore it because you wear your Rhinebeck sweater and, you know, all that. So I may end up just wearing a cowl. I'm not going to really stress too much about wearing my Rhinebeck sweater. But that's going to go with, my poncho will go with, what was I going to say something about this? I think I was, but now I don't remember. So those are the two current works in progress. I did finish my poncho, which I'm happy with. Not much to say about it. It's a rectangle that you sew together with a mattress stitch. Something else that I did, this was a rip out project. I had made something, can't even remember what, and it wasn't working out, or I didn't like I don't remember exactly what I made, but I remember it was like, this isn't good. Ripped it out, still had the yarn. It's yarn that I dyed, DK weight, and I decided to make the Tolsta tee. So this is the Tolsta tee. I am not going to put it on because it's very warm here. This is in DK. It is 100% superwash merino, so it's going to probably stretch a little bit. This is by Crochet, who is Rebecca Clow. This was a great pattern, very well written. She did put in bust shaping, and she did vertical bust shaping. So for those of you that have busts, this might be important to know. I don't know if you can see, it's right in here. And the vertical bust shaping worked really well because I was doing stripes. I didn't have enough of either of the colors to do the whole thing. So I striped it just because that would give me enough yardage to do the whole thing. So this fits me really well. So I have larger chesticles, and when you have larger chesticles, what tends to happen is you wear something, and if there's no shaping, it just tents off of you. Now, those of you that are in the Itty Bitty Titty Club don't have issues with that, but those of us that have something up front, it's an issue. So I find that to measure like my bust size and then make the sweater that way, and so many sweaters are very boxy, and I don't want my clothes fitted. I don't like it when things are like fitted. I like them to have a looser fit. But allowing extra material around the bust makes things fit so that you're not just tented, because then you bring it back in and then it fits your body. This sweater fits me really, really well. I probably, because of the fact that it's 100% superwash, probably could have gone down one size because it might be a little loose up here. But the bust shaping really, really made a difference. And it's all included in her pattern. Her pattern is written for either fingering weight or DK weight. And there's different bust sizes that you can follow. And she tells you how to measure for that. And it made a world of difference. So then I went down the rabbit hole of looking like, how can I add bust darts to other sweaters that are not, it's not written in, and it's not hard. So there was it Brooklyn Tweed? I don't remember. Some video I found that showed you how to do the regular like triangle shaped bust darts that come off the side. Super easy. So my thought is with this tank, no, it's not a tank, the vest that I'm making, I might add bust darts in it. It's going to depend on where the armhole, because sometimes vests, the armholes can come down pretty far. I don't think that this one's going to come down real far, and I might add a bust dart in it just to make it fit nicer. And I think going forward, that's how I'm going to do my sweaters, because it's like you do some short rows. You do some short row shaping, and then go back around. You know, when you're doing it in the round, come to this side, do some short row shaping, and then you just continue on. Doing it with stripes, I think doing a vertical bust dart was the way to go because it didn't interrupt the stripes. But with a solid, I think that's the way to go for me. I think that's a big part of why things just feels very almost too oversized. And so with a lot of the style that I see is these garments are really oversized, but they're on little people. And I think little people can get away with the really oversized stuff. I think when you are a larger person, it just makes it look saggy or something. I don't know. On myself. I'm not judging how you wear what you want to wear. On myself, it's not a style that I prefer. So going forward, I think I'm going to do that. I would love to make another Tolsta tee. In fact, I bought yarn to make another one while I was making the one I was making. For one, DK weight goes so fast. I decided to do short sleeves just because it is DK, and I was concerned that I'd be too warm to wear it. But I can just wear like a long sleeve t-shirt under this and still have like my arms not so hot that I probably get more use out of it. I probably had enough yarn to go a little bit further. I don't think I had enough yarn to do a full long sleeve. So I did it as a short sleeve. I mean, the pattern's very loose to do whatever you want. You can add eyelets. You can, however you want to make your fabric. She's given the directions to just how to make the garment, and you make your fabric the way you want it, whether you want to add cables or however you want to do it. You get the stitch count. Here's your pattern. So loved it, highly recommend. There's some others of her designs that I may make in the future now, knowing how her patterns are written. It was very, very good. I did make a scarf that I sent up to Fiber Hustle that they're going to use as a sample for flock. I don't even think I took a picture. I didn't quite finish it before surgery, so I finished it right after surgery, and I had Jim block it because I just couldn't manage it. And so I sent it up to them when it was done, so they have it, and I can show that later. But I used his new color that's based off of the Alanis Morissette album Jagged Little Pill, and it's the colorway Jagged Little Yarn. And he matched the album cover perfectly, as he usually does, and it was a joy to make. So when I was making the Tolsta tee, I was like, I need to make another one. And I think it would be really good to make it with like a cotton yarn or a summery kind of yarn, because it's like, short sleeves, it's like a t-shirt, right? And then I wouldn't be so hot. So I get emails from Hobby Yarns out of Denmark. They're always having a sale. And they had a sale on this yarn, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I got to try. So it is their cotton silk. It is 77% cotton, 23% silk. It is so soft. It says that it's a 3 yarn. I feel like it's a very light DK. Suggested needle size is a 6, so it's, right in there. It's a 50 gram ball with 131 yards. So I bought a bunch of balls of it because it was only $4 a ball. So I can make a sweater pretty inexpensively. So of course I had to get this color, which is color number 57, which is like a, you see the pink is the cotton and then the purple is the silk. It should have really nice drape. And I think it's going to make a really comfortable tee. So I will be casting that on. I'm going to have to swatch with it and everything because this yarn is a lot thinner than the DK that I just made my Tolsta tee with. So I'll have to do some math. But isn't that pretty? That's going to be such a good color for me. I try and get out of my color block or whatever. But you know what you know. I need saturated colors. Even the green, like it looks better when it's got more. I think because my hair is white, so I get too washed out if I don't have more color. So because I'm already paying, $7 to ship or whatever it was, I thought let's throw in a little bit extra yarn. So I'm going to try their Unicorn Solid, which is a 75-25 fingering weight yarn. There's 437 yards on it. It feels nice and soft. I got that color, which is color number 10. And then I got this color, which is color number 12. It's like an orchid color. I think that I see this in something with like a dark gray. I think this would be really pretty. And I may do a cowl, like a color work cowl with this. But I thought, oh, let me try it. These were like, they were on sale. Hobby's always having sales. So if you go there and it's not on sale, it will be at some point. This is going to be a discontinued color. And I'm like, oh, should I have gotten more and made a whole sweater out of this? Maybe. But this is going to be a discontinued color. I don't know why, because it's very pretty. So, oops. So I got those 3 different yarns from them. And then I made a purchase. Oh, I don't have them up here. Darn it. Do I have it on here? I do. Okay. I purchased from Needles at the Ready. This is, it's fall, y'all. And I thought I want like a fall pair of socks for Rhinebeck. So I will be doing that on my on my knitting machine, which I put, prior to surgery, I put it on a adjustable table so I can stand at it, because sitting like this for a while doesn't feel so good. And there are times when I'm doing stuff on the machine and I need to like fix something down low and my chair only goes so low. Well, now I can raise the table so I can sit nice. So it's actually, I'm like really excited about that. So anyway, I will be doing this as a pair of socks. They'll just be vanilla socks on my machine. I thought about knitting with them by hand, and I thought, no, I don't enjoy that process anymore. So I'm not going to put myself through it. So I'm going to use that. And also got some of their new stitch markers. This is the one with their logo on it. And I'm using it on my vest here. Has a nice big ring. So this is a size 8 needle that I'm using. And like there's plenty of room. You could use probably up to a size 11, or I don't know. I mean, an 8 is pretty big for me because I usually knit with fingering weight. But yeah, it's a nice addition to my little bling up my little vest there. Right before I went in for surgery, I did a little tutorial on my little yarn sacks that I use. I use them all the time, and so I did a tutorial for them. And it's on my channel here. I'll put a link to it down below if you're interested in making any of them. They're super easy and don't take up a whole lot of fabric and just need some real basic sewing machine skills. And that's going to be a wrap, I think. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope that the rest of your summer goes well, and I will try and get back on here as soon as I can. But for now, thank you so much. Bye.